Okay, my seventh graders are here, most of them, and we're recording lesson 3.3, the last lesson in our booklet. And so we're on page 12. So let's get started putting in order. What do you do first, second, third? We're talking about order of operations in this lesson. And some of you will remember PEMDAS. If you ever heard of that, PEMDAS. And what that is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This tells us we're going to work on parentheses, exponents, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting. Multiplying and dividing are equally important. You do it from left to right, and the same with adding and subtracting. Whatever comes first, from left to right. Okay, who wants to volunteer? Number one, what do we do first? Tie our shoelaces, put on our socks, or put on our shoes? 1, 2, 3.
3, 1, 2.
3, 1, 2. So first we put our socks on, then we are put on our shoes, and then we tie our shoelaces. Prediction is, do we all agree? Most
Yes.
people do it like that, right? This is the order. How about number 2? 1, 2, 3. We eat dinner, we do homework, we do something recreational like playing basketball or drawing a picture. What do you think is the order? Somebody volunteer?
I got
Go ahead. Somebody volunteer?
2, 1, 3. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we have different answers. Let me call on Hayden. I don't know who answered, but Hayden, what's your order?
I got 3, 1, 2.
3, 1, 2. She says first she does her homework, then she does something recreational, and then she eats dinner. Good. Has a different order.
I do.
Okay, go for it.
I have 3, 2, and then 1.
Okay, so she does something recreational first, then does the homework, and then eats dinner. Okay, so not all agree, I'll say. So in math, we have to agree on a certain order when we do stuff. So somebody came up with this order here, PEMDAS, and that's the order we will go by every single time so that we all arrive at the same answer, okay? So that's what order of operations is. So it's a fixed rule, steps, 1, 2, 3, what do we do first, second, third, okay? And that's what we're practicing in this lesson. So now let's look at what it says here. You do not need to calculate anything for the following problems. So you're just putting operation symbols in the boxes. So operation symbols might be multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, and make the numerical expressions that are correct translations of the situation. So the cost of buying 2 bottles of juice for $1.50 each and 3 bags of pretzels for $2 each. So let me hear from Daniela. What do you put in your first box? Daniela, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think you were calling me.
Daniela, do you have any symbols you want to put in these boxes? 2 bottles of juice, $1.50 each, and 3 bags of pretzels for $2 each. So what symbols would you put here?
Plus.
Yeah, okay, so that's the $1.50 and you're buying 2 bottles. So if you do 150 plus 2, will that be correct if you buy 2 bottles of juice?
No.
If you put a plus here, think about it. What other symbol would be better?
I don't know.
So if you buy 2 sodas or choose for $1.50, would you do 150 plus 2, 150 times 2,
Times 2.
exactly, it's times, right? Good. And then what else? Then we have 3 times 3 bags of pretzels. So what would be right here? Times, and what do we do with these two amounts? We add them. 2 times 1.5 plus 3 times 2. So those are the symbols that go in here. And of course, we multiply first and then add last. So we would say 2 times the shoes and then plus 3 times the bags of pretzels. And now let's look at the total area of the two rectangles combined, meaning you're adding them. So this is a 3 square by 8 squares. That's a multiplication. 3 times 8 gives me the total area of this rectangle because it's 3 on one side and 8 on the other. And then how much is in here? 4 by 4. And what do we do with that? We add it. So that's a 4 by 4, and then the plus goes here. We're going to add that together. So that's how that looks. Okay. Did anybody get that?
Yeah.
Good. Good job. So that was page 12. And on top, I want you to write the word notes. So we don't get our stuff in nice taken care of when I grade your notebooks. Now we're learning about, on page 13, we're talking about exponents. And if you remember in your word bank on the very beginning of the page, I talked about exponents. It's also called sometimes the word power. And this is right here is a power, 5 squared. So I'm going to write that in the margin, 5 squared. Or 5 to the power of 2. And what that means, it's 5 times 5. So it means the base, the exponent, the little 2 here tells you how many times to multiply the base by itself. So that's 25. 5 squared is 25. This is not it. It's not 5 times 2. This is wrong. Okay, so the base, the 5, you multiply 2 times, and that's your answer. Okay, 3 to the power of 4. So I'm going to write down how to say it correctly. It's not 3, 4. It's 3 to the power of 4. So who can tell me how many times do we multiply the 3 together? How many times do we multiply? 4 times. So it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So what is the answer for that? What's 3 times 3? What's 3 times 3? 9. Another 3 times 3. Another 9. And what's 9 times 9? 81. So 3 to the power of 4 is equal to 81. Okay. Are you guys following still?
Yeah.
Am I going too fast?
No. No.
You're writing this down, right?
Yes.
2 to the power of 6. How many times do I multiply 2 by itself?
6.
6.
Yeah, so you write it out. 2 times 2, 6 times. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want you guys to tell me what that is. Who can tell me what is, so you can kind of group it. And then multiply these. What would the answer be? Anybody? 4 times 4 times 4.
Is it 32?
4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4.
64.
Yep, good job. Perfect. Okay. The thing with powers or exponents, the answers get big real quick. 17 to the power of 1 is just 17. It's just the same. The power of 1 just says that's the answer. Okay. And then I'm going to throw in one more. Power of 0, the answer is always 1. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Number 6, when computing an expression, Horton wrote 2 to the power of 3 is 6. Explain Horton's mistaken thinking. Who can tell me why is this wrong? What did Horton do?
He's because he just multiplied 2 instead of multiplying 2 together and then taking that answer and multiplying it by 2.
Yeah, he multiplied 2 times 3, right? He took those two numbers and multiplied. But what's the right way again? What's the right way to multiply again?
2 times 2 times 2.
Yeah, good. 2 times 2 times 2 is really what? Anybody? 2 times 2 times 2 is what?
8.
8. Good job. So notice a different answer if you do it right, correct? All right, now you guys are going to tell me your answers. I'm going to give you a minute and I want you to see if you can answer 7 through 12. Okay, so I'm going to okay, let's start. Number 7. Daniela, do you have an answer? 3 squared? Okay, so we have all our answers. For the viewers that are watching the recording, this one right here, 3 squared is 9. 3 to the power of 4 is 81, and then you add them, that makes it 90. Check the answers, make sure you understand them. And then write each as of the following as a base with an exponent. How many 2's do we have? It's the same, the base is 2, and how many times do we multiply it? 6, so 2 to the power of 6. Make sure you write your exponent higher than the number. So this is called the base. And the exponent should be up here, higher. This is the exponent. Okay, and the whole thing is called a power. Okay, so 6 times 6 would be, the base is 6 and we're multiplying it twice. So it's called 6 squared. And then 0 times 0, the base is 0. And I don't know, this doesn't look right, but the answer is still 0. I have not seen anything like this one before. I'm hoping I'm showing this right. This one is notes, this page. And this is page 13. And then the next one, we're on page 14, is also notes. Okay, I was right about 0 to the power of 3. That looked good. Okay, so now we're going to make the problems a little more intricate, a little more little longer. 2, this is a times 1.5 plus 3 times 2. Okay, so this right here means dot means multiplying. Another way to show multiplication is with parentheses, also means multiply. So we multiply. So remember PEMDAS, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting. Multiplying is higher than adding and subtracting. So multiplying comes first. 2 times 1.5 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. You add that and you have 9. Okay. So let's try this one. 3 times 8 plus 4 times 4. That's the problem with the rectangles. Again, multiplying is higher in the hierarchy of our order of operation. Adding and subtracting always comes last. So 3 times 8 comes first. That's 24 plus 4 times 4 is a multiplication that comes next. This is called showing your work. You want to kind of work downward, not sideways. 24 plus 16 is, I believe, 40. Box your answer. You can also group it with parentheses. 4 times, this is a times, 1.5 plus 2. Parentheses are at the top of the hierarchy, what to do first. Parentheses, exponent, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5. And then multiply 4 times 3.5, I believe is 12, 14. I think I'm doing this one in my head. 4 times a half is 2. Yep. And then another parentheses problem, 3 plus 3 plus 3 times 8. See, if there's no symbol between the number and the parentheses, it means multiply. But we're doing the parentheses first, so 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. And now I can drop the parentheses and insert that little multiplication dot, and that's 72. And you want to work down and you want to show your work step by step. Are you guys caught up with your notes up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to go too fast. So here's how we do it. The first thing is simplify expressions that are grouped, which is the parentheses. Parentheses. Then after that, compute expressions with exponents. After that, perform multiplication and division from left to right. And last, perform addition, and subtraction from left to right. So we're going to finish this page and then stop. But after this page 14, we have notes and then practice is homework. Okay. All right. So when we're done copying the steps, this is the same as PEMDAS down here, A, B, C, D, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So here's an example of what to do in this box. And we have 16 minus parentheses 2 plus 8 close parentheses plus 4 times 2 to the third power. And now we're going to look, what do we do first? Of course, the grouping, the parentheses, and we're going to rewrite everything. So we're going to keep going and going, line upon line, until we get to the answer. It's always working down. Okay, so first I'm going to work out 2 plus 8 and rewrite everything. 16 minus 10 plus 4 times 2 cubed. Okay, so the grouping grouped of solved, 2 plus 8 is 10. Now what's next? Okay, naturally you want to start 16, take away 10, but no, stop, do the power, 2 to the power of 3. So what's 2 to the power of 3? 8. So you do one step at a time and you look at it, what's next? Okay, you have subtracting, adding, multiplying. So multiplying comes before adding and subtracting. So that comes next, 4 times 8. So you do that. So you keep writing down the rest. 4 times 8 is 32. And now what comes next? Subtracting, because it's from left to right. Remember, whatever comes first, you go from left to right. It's adding and subtracting. They're equally important. The subtracting is first. So that's what I'll do first. 16 take away 10 is 6, right? And then 6 plus 32 is 38. And now you got your answer. And you can work downward and you can do a few things at a time. You could do the power with the parentheses at the same time to save yourself one line, but this is one step at a time. Are you caught up copying this at home, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another example. Watch this, 8 plus 6 times 2, and then comes a fraction bar. That means all over. On the bottom, we have 6 minus parentheses, 4 minus 8, close parentheses, equals. Now we got work top and we're gonna work bottom, separate. So the top, what comes first, adding or multiplying?
Multiplying.
Yep. The rest we're gonna rewrite. So 8 plus, that stays. 6 times 2 is 12. And on the bottom, we have a grouping. So what comes first? The grouping, the parentheses. So we have 6 minus 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So that's my first step. Now you work the top separate from the bottom. 8 plus 12 is 20. 6 minus -4, that's subtracting a negative. So what's the answer for that? 6 minus -4, anybody?
10.
Yes, it's adding a negative is really, subtracting a negative is adding. And 20 divided by 10, you can cross cancel the common zeros, is 2. Okay, one more example down here. That's a plus, right? Okay, let me make it bigger. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna work each part separate. This is one part, this is another, this is the top here and the top here. So we're doing the 9 stays on the bottom. What's 1 take away 4?
-3.
Good job. Then comes the plus. Now look up here, what comes first? The adding the 3 or multiplying 3 times 4?
Multiplying.
Multiplying 4.
Yeah, 3 times 4, right? So what is that? 3 times 4 is? 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. On the bottom, we have the grouping symbol. So we do 1 plus 5. Oh. So 1 plus 5 is 6. So I rewrite the 10, the minus, and then I can just solve the parentheses. I don't need the parentheses anymore. 10 minus 6. Okay, over here, let's divide. This is division. 9 divided by -3. So what is that? 9 divided by -3. -3, right? Plus, let's do the top. -20 plus 12 is how much? Anybody? -20 plus 12? -8. And 10 take away 6? 4. Now what's -8 divided by 4? -8 divided by 4 is what?
-2.
Yep. So we're almost done. -3, which comes from this fraction, plus -2 is how much? -3 counters plus 2 more negative counters. How many do we have altogether?
-5.
-5.
5.
Yep, good job. And there's our answer. So those problems get tricky. You have to stop and think what's next. You cannot just jump into it because you'll more likely make a mistake. So I'm going to, so this page was notes. So let's write that on the top. And then I think the next one, yeah, we already got it. So that was page 14. Now we got page 15 is homework. You're going to do the PEMDAS yourself without me. And see how you're doing, okay? So now let me just check on the next few pages. Okay, I get it, yeah. All right, we only got one more page. So I'm gonna stop my video.